అణు అణువున నాదం నా పంచ ప్రాణాల నాట్య వినోదం నాలో రేగే నిన్నో హంసానందే రాగా.
బీర్వా పైన బ్యాగ్లో ఉంటుంది చూడు.
అమ్మా, నేను నీకు ఈ విషయం నీకు అసలు ఎప్పుడు చెప్పకూడదు అనుకున్నావు.
అని సారీ రా. చూడు ఇక్కడ. అనన్య, మూడోసారి చేస్తున్నావు ఇదే జతి. మళ్ళీ మర్చిపోయావు. ప్లీజ్ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్.
And welcome to Aishwarya Shrikant, the director of the film Ananya, which won the award at the K. Viswanath Garu Short Film Contest conducted by Indica Pictures. It's lovely to speak with you today. And
Thank you.
we're doing this series as a tribute for his first Jayanti, Aishwarya. And it's lovely to speak to you on this occasion.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
How did you start? How did you start your film career? And were you trained in it? And you mentioned in an earlier interview that you worked for Z. So
Yes.
how did the transition happen?
So I was always into everything related to art, basically. And I also am a Kuchipudi dancer. I'm a practicing Kuchipudi dancer. So my association with art form started when I was as young as, I think, 4 years old. That's when I started training and everything. But then my passion for filmmaking started when I realized that I had that penchant in me, like, that I could do something, so profound and something so great that it can have many possible effects on a lot of viewers and everything. So I thought the idea of having such a powerful tool in your hands and to be able to use it to probably communicate your idea of how you see the world, that kind of attracted me so much that I had to get into it. So I was working for Z, and I had the opportunity to talk to consumers from ground zero, and understand their idea of watching content on TV. And that also kind of gave me the push. It motivated me to do something better for those people, because working all day long and coming back home, they'd want something really relaxing, and they look for it in TV. And it's such a powerful medium. It does so many things. So I thought, okay, fine, I think I need to get into it. I need to do something about it. And then I was watching the film in theaters, and suddenly there was this epiphany. I use this word everywhere. So it was this epiphany that I had, that I want to make films, actually. So the very next day of watching that movie, I started working towards it. I resigned from Z. I worked as an assistant director for a film, and then I happened to come across the competition, K. Vishwanath sir's competition. I was like, I have to go for it. It feels like, it was the destiny aspect here. So that's how I happened to do it.
Fantastic. I was just reading an article written by Sharon Lowen, and
Okay.
she acts in Swarna Kamalam as the foreigner who makes Bhanu
Yes.
actually see the value of Indian dance. So it takes an outsider to make us appreciate our Indian traditions sometimes. So you also mentioned, in an earlier interview about how our culture is now at threat from various quarters. One is wokeism, one is the left targeting, both the spiritual aspects as well as our cultural aspects. So, as a dancer yourself, what do you think filmmakers can do to, stop this kind of attack on our culture?
Um, I would say the entire aspect of appropriating culture and trying to make it a very making the point about tokenism, doing just for the sake of doing it. When you're truly interested in trying to uh, showcase some kind of cultural aspect, it's different. But when you're doing it only to, attract the audiences, it's completely different. So the I think it starts with us exploring what kind of art forms we have. I think half of us don't. I mean, I'm also guilty about this, but I also don't know. There's so many things that were lost in translation, and so many things that we had, and as Indians, as we started. I mean, from the civilizational point of view as well, there's so many things that were there, and we never actually took the time to explore them, give them the time and the value, and also the focus that those things needed. And we should probably start off with that. Start off with uh, understanding history, understanding where we come from, understanding how is it important to shape our future, and yeah, pretty much that.
You also mentioned that you shot this in your grandmother's house. So, how difficult was it to, in a shoestring budget, to, get everything, right in just a very short period of time, and also maybe, compensate some of the team.
Right. So I mean, if there's anything that I'm actually feeling bad about right now, it's not having the not having good budget to be able to dispense, to be able to dispose of. So the thing is, I happen to like write, work on it and everything, and my family knows, like, I've been working on it and stuff, and I shared it with my grandmother, and I happen to list I happen to scour through the entire Airbnb app and everything to look for places where I can shoot. Under budget and everything, but I did not find anything. I contacted real estate agents and everybody also, but nothing happened. And then one day I was sitting in my grandmother's house talking to her. I'm trying to look for a house and everything, and I just look her and I'm saying, "Oh my God, why did I miss this? I can't do it here." And also the fact that they haven't renovated the house in 25 or 30 years and it's still there, and it adds so much character to the entire story. So I thought, okay, this should be there, because I have my little nephews at home who've scribbled all through the walls and everything, and it's still there. I was like, okay, fine, this is actually very nice, because every side of this particular thing, every wall has a story to tell, and every wall has seen through so many generations. So I'm like, this should be good for the story. And I go ask her, and she's like, okay, fine, go do it. I'm going to go to your house. You be in my house, do the entire thing, and yeah, take your time. She was very welcoming, and with respect to the equipment and everything, my idea was, uh, I have a conviction, and I have an idea what to do about my film. And I brought in a lot of friends. I explained and narrated the story to them, told them this is what I need, this is what I'm looking for. So I want you to help me with this particular aspect of it. And I have great friends. They kind of like put their time and effort into it, and they also helped me through it. And I sat with the editor, tortured him, and we don't have a separate space to sit and work on the editing as well. We had to go sit in a mall and work on it. And the mall just opened, so we didn't really have a lot of people coming in. So we found the food court to be the right place to sit because there was nobody around. So we'd sit from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., finish off all the editing, and go back home. And I didn't have the budget for dubbing as well, so I had to go back and check on if there are any apps available. So I happened to bring that in. So all of it was pretty much jugaad. But at the end of the day, it kind of helped me understand where I fell short. And the next time, if I have to make something, how can I communicate it to the right person? Because I was not just the director, I was also the caterer, I was also the art depart. Someone from the art department. I was also the set boy and everything. So I know. So the next time I'm working with those people, I know what kind of jargons that I need to use. How can I communicate it to them so that they actually understand what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I filled all the spaces. So did my friends, and it was a very exhilarating experience.
You have had Vishwanath Garu on the front row when you have had your dance performances. And I'm
Yes,
sure, you know, there were conversations with your parents and your grandmother about their memories of Vishwanath Garu. So did
yes.
they tell you about, you know, him as a person? And did you have an image in your mind about who is this person to whom you're dedicating this film?
So, every time that you bring up his name, everybody talks about how he used filmmaking to discuss so many important topics, topics that are still considered taboo. And, uh, even including my grandparents, my parents, my family, everybody, um, they all know him as a connoisseur of art, someone who celebrated art form in its, in the most beautiful way. And I would say the most beautiful way to celebrate something would be to be able to do something through filmmaking. So yeah, that's there. And he's used it to, yeah, like I said, discuss very important topics. So I didn't really know about him even when I had him as a chief guest for a lot of for a lot of performances that I was a part of. But then later, once I kind of understood filmmaking, got into it, like even as a child when I was 15, 16 years old, I started watching a lot of films. And then I went back to understanding the technicalities of it, and also seeing who worked for what film and how did it happen. And then I realized that uncle who came there is the person who is the director who made such amazing films. And watching Swarna Kamalam when I was 8 years old and watching Swarna Kamalam when I was 18 years old, there was a lot of difference the way I perceived the film. So if I have to put it, my family always knew him as a connoisseur of art and art forms. But for me, it was very special because he was also a part of my dance journey somehow, because I've always seen him in dance circles. And also, in fact, when he passed away last year, um, so many people in my circles, everybody talked about how he celebrated arts. And every single person I knew talked about how he celebrated art, and the what kind of importance art holds in his films, and how he actually propagated kuchipudi. Like, I believe kuchipudi today is still in its form, and it's still there, it exists, and people practice it because of his films. I strongly believe that. And we have to give it to him for doing that, for realizing it is important to have authentic trained dancers who are performing, and not somebody just for the sake of it, bringing in the glamour aspect and getting them to dance. He would bring authentic dancers to perform and showcase an art form. So yeah.
In your other friends circle, what are the kind of films that are popular and How would your film go down? Did you get any feedback from people who've watched your film?
To be honest, I think all my, friends from different walks of life, I think they've been very kind enough to say I did a good job. Nobody did not, I think, want to give a negative feedback, even if they had something. But I believe they all really liked it or connected with it because they've all seen me they've all seen me dance all the time, and they've seen me celebrate dance. So a dancer turning into a filmmaker and then making a film about dance, I think that they connected with it really well, and nobody really had any issues with it and also liked it. Because I wanted to treat the entire story as a Viswanath sir's film, but also I made sure that I brought in some flavor of Shekhar Kamala sir's, touch to it, because they're well versed with his films. They know it. So if I go back to making it in a very traditional way, people would have probably dismissed it or wouldn't have watched it that way. So I had to merge two different, treatments of filmmaking, and then somehow Ananya happened, and I'm happy they all liked it. And even if they have a feedback, they didn't probably tell me that. So I think sometime in the future I'll know.
See, one of the things that I haven't got much information about or any opinions is about the language itself. When I listen to the language that is in his films, it's so poetic, the so literary, and also very classical. So, is the Telugu that is heard in today's films, or is the Telugu that you would like to use in your films very different from the Telugu that he uses?
Yes, because I think over time the conversational Telugu that we have, it has changed. And even my film Ananya, I'm guilty, but half of it was a lot of Telugu, English, Tenglish kind of conversations. But I also believe if you have to appeal to certain audiences and if you have to make a point, there are certain things that you kind of need to leave behind. One of them is the traditionality of it, because uh, more than bringing in authentic language or authentic style of making, it's about making a point. For me, it is about making a point. That is of paramount value currently for me. So I want to focus on that. And even if this kind of fell short, I thought, okay, maybe out of practice I'll be able to do it. I can work better. But then if we have to replicate that kind of language, I don't think we'll have the same kind of response.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah. So you must have watched the other films, Aishwarya, and how did they resonate with you, and where did you feel that all of these 8 films and more, how have they come together in some way or the other? Have the same sentiment of paying homage to a brilliant human being as well as cinema person.
I think everybody, when they started off with this particular, short film, making it for this particular competition, they all knew that they had to, in some way or the other, cater to art.
Hmm.
So, whatever kind of art it is, it could be, or also strong protagonist, strong female protagonist, and strong voices. Topics of very sensitive topics have to be discussed, or bringing in the child. Bringing out the child, your inner child, and celebrating your inner child. So all of these things, somewhere or the other, I could see that translate into the stories that have been made, and I think it's great because at least that way we're able to pay homage to K. Vishwanath Garu, and let him know that we'll always remember him through his works.
So this is your work life. You know, a lot of people, even their off work life is, especially artists, is is also, you know, again engaging and practicing and doing sadhana. So where do you draw the line in your personal life between having fun and work and, you know, dance? So what are, you know, how because I have seen artists like are obsessed about practice, or they're obsessed about, you know, the next performance, and they have to be, I guess. So including, you know, when we talk about K. Vishwanath Garu on set, he says for 40 days the whole team had to forget that they were anything but the part that they were playing. So as a very young person, how do you, you know, step out of these things and, you know, have a work life balance, so to speak?
I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. But then I also believe having a proper maintaining a proper schedule really helps. The entire thing about writer's block or the creative block that we all talk about, it's mostly because we're not putting ourselves in that the schedule that we're supposed to follow, because it's really important. I mean, even if you're like, having that particular block, you can go back to researching, get an idea, come back and work on it. So I would probably say maintaining a 9 to 5, even in your writing, really helps. But again, I'm guilty because, 9 to 5, I probably sit and write again at 6 p.m. If I'm going back home, I'm still thinking about the script. Back of my mind, it's always there. So somehow, even in my sleep, I'm like thinking about, okay, fine, I think I made a mistake there. I need to go back and change it tomorrow. Or sometimes even in the night, if I'm getting an idea, I wake up and sit and write that in a book and go back to sleep. So it's a compromise that you're trying to make at the end of the day, because the kind of emotions that are evoked while making an art form, while making something, while also showcasing something, I think that surpasses everything there is. And if you're able to do that, you're a very gifted person. So you might as well just enjoy it and forget about other things.
So, just to end this lovely conversation, could you tell us about your favorite dance piece? Or what you like dancing most? Like some people say Jayadeva's Ashtapadi.
Ashtapadi.
So, which would you say is, you know, a dance piece that you really enjoyed and that makes you, you know, experience our culture at its most beautiful?
So I was a part of this ballet called Aloke Sri Balakrishnan, that my very first guru, Prathama Guru, Dr. Madali Usha Gayatri had, choreographed and, set the entire thing. So it's something that I absolutely loved doing, because Aloke Sri Balakrishnan, it's about, again, Krishna's Mahima, and at the same time, his celebrating his inner child. And I absolutely love performing on such pieces, especially ballet pieces, where I can go perform a particular role, portray a role, and put myself into their shoe and empathize with those characters, understand our culture, understand our history, understand our civilization probably better. And but if I have to talk about one standalone piece that I absolutely love performing on, it's very basic, but I would say I would love to perform on Annamaya Kirtanas, where we have Itti Mudduladi, we have Muddugari Yashoda, and it's just about Krishna and his mischief. I just enjoy doing that. Yashoda trying to like convince him, like, no, please, and then Krishna doing whatever he wants and still getting in and out of trouble. It reminds me, you have to always keep that in, let that inner child in you soar. It's very important to be able to lead a happy life. So I like going back to those pieces and exploring the sahityam also sometimes. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. It's very clear that your dance has played a very big role in your filmmaking too, because you already know how character play is. You know about structure. You know about the timing in dance, which is very important.
Important.
And Dr. And Vishwanath Garu talks about laya. He says filmmaking is about laya. Everything has to be on time. So I'm sure
Yes.
your
Rhythm is
laya is
very
at your
important.
finger, yeah,
Yes.
fingertip. So I mean, no scene can be more than just right. So
True.
Ananya is all about laya, all about timing, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you. Thanks to you, Danji sir, entire Indica Pictures, Indica organization for this wonderful, wonderful initiative that they came up with. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and looking forward to more films from you.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.